Okay, I think we are live. Let me get a sip of this water, get my radio voice going. Is this microphone picking me up? Hey, as soon as you guys get in, if people could let me know because I don't see my little mic bar. It should be working. It should be working. I don't know what's going on with that. Hey, could you tell me if you hear? Now you got to wait 60 seconds to tell me if you can hear me or not. Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon. It's 1 o'clock here. You guys could click those likes. Let me know if you can hear me. I hate it when it does that. I don't see my mic bar going, but I have everything turned on. Okay, cool. I've got my Blue Yeti rolling. All right, fantastic. If you guys could click those likes, there's 22 people watching and only 9 likes. Come on. Come on. Hit that button. Hit that button. Come on. There we go. What? Larry Wheels? Did Larry Wheels? Shut up, dude. Don't make me go check Google to see if that really just happened. Why do you guys got to throw stuff like that at me in here? Make sure people aren't messing with me. I don't have to I don't take time to go Google Chinese or pizza tonight. I can't decide, dude. That is a tough choice. Honestly, though, Chinese isn't always quite a cheat meal. Like you can make Chinese food fit into your diet a lot better than you can pizza, right? Whew. Jason, you were right. Last few weeks, I realized how silly counting half sets either exercise causes growth or it doesn't. And you have to look at it that way, Darko, right? You have to. Someone said, Felicia, I just got hit in a car wreck 50 miles an hour, have some soft tissue pain. How long should I take off the gym? I don't know. I do not know. That's it'd be a question for your doctor. Come on, guys, give me some more likes. We only had 16 likes. Kick it up, right? Kick those likes up. Jason, I love your bald head. He didn't die. He almost. Oh, I don't know what happened. Thank you. Well, I need to shave it again. Look, I'm already getting stubbly again. I got to shave it. At least this part's bald. Right? You got cranium aesthetics like I do. You can rock that though. Low Taro guard, Jason. Can you get a 500 squat just by doing the leg press and good mornings? Well, you need to do a little bit of squat work. But yeah, it's that can build your base for it. Jason, I tore my bicep using mixed grip for speed work. What? Why don't lock the elbows? That's it. No, I don't think it's necessary at all. Today is a sad day. Alan Thrall became a bodybuilder, abandoned powerlifting. Do you think it will have a negative impact on him when he gets deep into that culture? I don't know. Uh, Classic Larry Wheels doing stunts for social media that almost resulted in his death. These bodybuilders just know. I don't know. I don't know. Larry Wheels shows off too much. It gets him hurt a lot. I get it. It increases his outreach. He's making money. But, I'm not going to be a hater about it. Do you think training a muscle 2 times a week is better, even if running lower volume, less than 10 sets? If you're under 10 sets, it's subject to debate. That is really subject to debate at that point. I'm going to say it probably doesn't matter at that point. I don't think it matters at that point. I don't think you're going to see any difference at those volume levels. Personal preference. Lowest volume an intermediate lifter can make some progress on. It's going to depend on the lifter. It will depend entirely on the lifter. That is not like, hey, here is an X number I can give you. Is it a good idea to take a replacement dose of test only for your first blast? What? No, that doesn't even make sense. How do you feel about declines for max effort? Well, I uploaded one of my clients doing a decline for max effort in a short just a few minutes ago. So that's how I feel about it. Why do you keep saying bodybuilder days? I didn't really have true bodybuilder days. I mean, if we were to be technical about what we define as a bodybuilder. So I don't think we need to even discuss that. How do you propose that U.S. citizens are taxed? I think a sales tax, lat sales tax would be fine. Do you like dumbbell pullovers for lats? No. Jason, why don't you get back to reviewing fitness influencers? Because I don't care. I don't want to watch them. I literally bleed IQ and knowledge points. Like it gets drained literally watching these fucktards. I lose knowledge just by absorbing the stupid shit that they say. No, I can't do it. It's bad for my coaching business. Do you prefer high or low bar squats? Yes. Thoughts on Arnold doing D-ball? I don't care. Well, that's what he had available. What's the name of the rehab exercise that you do? Leg extensions with bands. It's called leg extensions with bands. Tips for preparing for a first blast. Do your research. Read. Thoughts on iron neck? I've already covered that one in lives. It's just some silly thing you see on Facebook. It's some trendy nonsense, man. Just get a neck harness for $25 off Amazon. Thoughts on contrast sprints? I don't have thoughts on that at all. Hey, Jason, what's up? What do you say is the most important for shoulder health, rows or probably rows? Overhead press destroys my shoulder health. I had to quit doing them to finally have healthy shoulders again completely. But it's entertaining. Sean, it's not entertaining for me, though. That's the thing. Like, it's soul draining to have to watch V Shrunk and talk about him, right? Is it inevitable that all bodybuilders know? I missed most of the last stream. You now get. I haven't done overhead press on Redmond. It's not about the streams. It's watch my vlogs. I've said for quite a while I can't do those things. Jason, would you ever recommend assisted pull-up machine for someone not strong enough to perform? I like reverse bands for that. Have you stopped away from work mode training? I mean, we can call it work mode training. I'm still training the same basic concepts I've been doing. Do you feel like you could have benched 405 by now if you weren't doing overhead press and pull-ups? Seems like that destroyed your shoulders, impact benching. Darko, that's a great question. I think had I completely, like 3 or 4 years ago, not done any more pull-ups or overhead pressing and gone to strictly more flat pressing and rows, I probably would have benched 405 by now because I would have had all the shoulder setbacks. Do you hear what happened to Larry Wheels? I've only heard it in here. Jason, I'm 40 this month and I've always been super insecure about my baldness. You can see from my profile. I really can't. Is that supposed to be a picture of me? Oh, that's cute. Hold on, I got to go actually. We got to see if this is who this is. Is somebody trying to clown me? If so, all right, what we got? Oh yeah, just another one of those. Let's get rid of. Here's how you get over baldness. You get on camera and you put your head up for people to see and go, look at my beautiful head. See, and then you're not insecure. Are you recommending neck work that you might have increased? John, nothing has changed in years on my stance. I think neck extensions are fine. I don't think you should be working the front part. It's very simple. Neck extensions with a harness. That's it. It's not like my stance has been different in the past several years on that. Nothing has changed in a few years at all. There's been no change at all on that one. How come you never promote the Facebook stars anymore? They actually, apparently, they don't like you to say that in the videos, I guess. I don't know. People still give them. How do you know who from evidence-based community is right when they all interpret studies? Yeah, good luck with that. What prevented you from benching 405 in the UK? I wasn't strong enough and didn't have enough muscle. There you go. Will you be doing the grimace shake? I don't know what that is. I admire your work ethic, doing videos and lives every day. Hope you get the chance to go on a nice long vacation. I don't even want a vacation right now. Jason, I love the memes you post on Facebook. I'm glad you do. Share those. That's the best thing you can do. Hit the share button on my memes. General benchmarks to hit as far as strength goes, 4 years under the bar before cashing in Natty card. I don't know that I have exact recommendations, honestly. I think cashing in your Natty card is a very personal choice. And let's not call it Natty card. Let's just call it going on steroids. Let's just call it what it is. Quit using all the silly nonsense and just call it what it is. It's a very personal choice that you have to make as a person and think through and weigh out. I mean, you're looking for specific guidelines and rules. I don't think they're there. You better weigh out the consequences. That's what it comes down to. Okay, you guys need to click that like button. Reach down there, hit the button. There's only 21 likes. There are more of you who have posted in here than people who've clicked that like button. Blah, blah, blah. There's a whole, let me scroll further down before these get buried. No. Besides your daily 1 hour heavy workouts, are you sedentary the rest of the day or recovery? I'm not necessarily sedentary, but I'm not doing a lot of conditioning. My training's pretty tough and it's hot outside. Jason, what books would you recommend for an aspiring strength coach? I've held them up in videos. I don't want to dig books out right now and hold them up in the screen. I've covered this before. Have you purchased any new gym equipment? Brad, have you seen any new equipment in my blogs? So there's your answer. I don't watch them because I watch the actual live streams, but it's kind of cool to see your fans upload highlights from Emperor. Are they, or are they trolls doing it? Because I don't want people re-uploading my lives. I'll tap them with that button. As soon as I see it come through the tool, I will knock them down. That's all automated. People don't seem to be aware of that. I heard you mention overhead work and pull-ups being potentially bad for shoulders. Why is that? Too nuanced. I don't feel like breaking all that down, John. I've covered that stuff in my training vlogs. They're bad for my shoulders. They may not be bad for your shoulders. So are you asking me to figure out specifically what's going on with my own subacromial process? So I don't understand your question. So it's going to be very dependent upon the person, although higher volumes of pullouts have been found in general to eventually lead to problems, at least on some studies that have looked at it. Do you ever see yourself running 19 NORs again? No, but that doesn't mean never. I don't plan on it. Learned anything new on the guitar? The majority of stuff I learned on the guitar, I don't upload. So yes, I learn new stuff every single week on the guitar. Do you log your training progress? Most serious lifters do that. I literally upload my training. You can't compare me to other lifters there. I am the only person who does what I do. Right? Nobody does what I do. I am the only person who has uploaded every workout in a vlog they have done for years on end. To my knowledge, no one else has ever done that. So I'm talking about writing in a journal. It's literally written and uploaded. It's all written down. Like it is journaled in writing on my channel underneath all the videos. They're all dated, everything. No, I'm not going to shred. I shredded for you guys yesterday, man, with no distortion. I busted out some Slayer. And yes, I actually was playing the Slayer song. That is what the tab has written. But running it on a strat with no distortion, it was hilarious. Do you think your old PED use is causing any long-term health? No. If you were president, what new laws would you enforce, Coach? I don't know. You really think I should be president? Like, seriously, come on. I don't want that sort of responsibility. Yesterday you mentioned, I didn't say sexually harassed. I said I've been groped. Been groped. It's all good. I know why your neck is small is because you were demonstrating your exercises. You were training your lower back. The neck was not contracting at all. Contract your neck muscles. What are you talking about? Will you make substantially more gains running less than half a gram total versus being drug-free? Potentially. I mean, substantially, yes. I mean, is it going to be a night and day? I mean, how are you measuring substantial? By the statistical definition of substantial, I would say yes. I mean, probably several more pounds of muscle. How do you keep up with the latest research? I know you can just Google studies, but how do you know when something new comes out? You look for it in different coaches and people who you follow, feeds and social media, and you just look around, you search. There's plenty. If you actually really care about studies and you just start following enough people who talk about these things, you'll get more studies than you could even read. It'll become a full-time job. It won't be a problem for you. I follow a few other powerlifters who blog their workouts as well. It's great to see the progression. Wow, cool. I'm glad other people are finally doing it. What's your opinion on melatonin supplementation for improved sleep quality? The same that it's been for many years. I'm supportive of it. I think it's very useful. What is the most important thing for shoulder health in your opinion? Avoiding movements that hurt you, not overusing them, using good forms on things, and making sure your posterior delts and everything are strong. Apology, Jason, I'm misconstrued. How do you deal with groping in public? You deal with each individual situation as they come. Because you're asking me, how do I deal with it? I dealt with it differently in different cases. And by the way, dudes are the worst about it too. Dudes will do it too. They're always like, I'm not gay as soon as they're drinking. That's why I don't like to hang out in bars. When you lift, you don't like hanging out in bars. Because you will deal with, I'm not gay, but can I touch you? And then they grab you. It's fucking ridiculous. Hey, Jason, what do you think of Alex saying the natural limit is BS? Who's Alex? When you guys say this stuff, I don't know which Alex. I can think of at least 5 Alexes in the industry. You're going to have to be specific. In a community post, you talked about visioning your life. What? I don't remember that post. Based on the current data online, you think, why do you guys come up with this silly stuff? Just get rid of this. I don't know why people think that. Okay, let me just state this one time for the record forever. I don't know anybody, to my knowledge, who has ever lived in Section 8 housing. I could have, but to my direct knowledge, I have never met anyone who I knew for a fact was ever in Section 8 housing. I don't even know how it works, let alone done it. Let me see. Coach, can upright rows lead to bad shoulder health over time like your experience with pull-ups and overhead press? Possibly. Let me scroll down. These are getting too long. What's the major stance changes on training and nutrition from Ice Cream Fit and Days for someone who's been AFK nearly 10 years to look into? I support a much wider variety of rep ranges now. I would probably say that's one of the biggest ones. More accessory work, but I always had a lot of accessory work early on. I'm only interested in lifting as a means of self-defense. I'm planning on getting into BJJ in some form of striking. Apart from Big Three, what lifts would make a more competent fighter in your opinion? Well-rounded strength base, just in general. Do you wish V-Shred would go away? As far as I know, he has. He doesn't exist on my radar. I've not seen anything of his anywhere in years come anywhere through any feed of mine. So he did go away as far as I could tell. Do you think there will ever be drug-free big comps in strongman like there is? I don't think there will be drug-free competitions in any sport ever. Brendan, yeah, that happens, dude. He works as bouncer part-time, always getting my biceps and butt squeezed by chicks. Yep. Do you think a 700 pounds is realistic for a drug-free lifter? A 700-pound what? I don't think a 700-pound raw lift, even a deadlift, is realistic for most people. I think that the genetically average guy, even on steroids, will never deadlift 700 pounds. You mean bros hugging around, having a good time, or inappropriate grabbing of private parts, grabbing chest, things like that? When it's complete strangers, like you've never met them. When you lift, it's not fun hanging around people who drink for the most part. Alexander Leonidas says the drug-free limit is BS. Well, clearly not true. Grape. Clearly not true. Otherwise, everyone could just be monstrously massive and endlessly strong, and they're not. I benched 435 at 208 body weight as a natty before. Could you get me any stronger as my coach? Possibly. What is the benefit of vlogging every workout besides progress and form if you're not a big YouTuber or coach? Probably is no benefit. Any specific lifts, though, would clean and jerk benefit a fighter? No, because you're training technique at that point. Upright rows with a barbell cause internal rotation if you use dumbbells or Swiss bars better. Or external rotation. Favorite place to go out and eat: Texas barbecue or Chinese? I like both. Why do you want me to pick favorites? Other than a 405 bench, what's your other goals before the end of the year? To get bigger and leaner, stronger in general. 405 bench is the only specific number I'm trying to work towards. Because I can't focus on too many different ones, because it's like that's unrealistic. It's like pick one target, get bigger, get stronger, set these goals, but only set one specific target for something like that. Who are some of the top strength training coaches you know of? Some of them may look into their methods or philosophies. Dave Tate, Chris Duffin. Can you hit training maxes? Can you hit training max deficit deals? Jason, I've done 310 kilogram deadlift raw and drug free. Realistically, what kind of yearly gains would you expect? I don't think you can project yearly gains at that level. Okay, you can't do that. That's not how it works. I know of who are, I don't care about looking into someone's physique. Why do you guys think I care about that shit? Doesn't sound like a chick, dude. I care about his physique. The only reason to care about your physique as a man is to make money off of your physique. That's it. If you can't make money on it, I don't know why you give a fuck about it. What do you think are the highest lifts the average Joe can eventually reach? I don't think that there's a set forward answer for that. But Jason, he means that people are setting low standards. Great. That's not the point, though. The point is the statement itself is moronic. I get that maybe he wants people to try harder and not set the bar too low, and that's fine. But there's no need to make provably false moronic statements to do that. It's not necessary. right? All right. I prefer if we don't discuss Lane at all on my channel. He and I will never be friends, and I'm not going to be able to be unbiased in my views of his work. I'm just not going to be able to. Do you think you can be reasonably lean, 230 pounds body weight, 6'1", completely drug free? I would need to do math, and I need to know what's reasonably lean. I don't want to break out a calculator in the middle of a live stream to do math for you. I'm sorry, guys. Would you ever drop a client if they started filming or photographing porn? No. Darko, why would I care if somebody does it? That's their business, right? Yeah, what's up with those likes? Click those likes, guys. There's a limit to everything training related, in training, natural or unnatural. You're only alive for so long and only your physical prime for so long. I mean, he's right. There is not just a limit on what you can do drug free. There's a limit on what you can do on 500 milligrams of test. There's a limit on what you can do on a gram of test. Okay. There just is. The human body is not unlimited. Okay. What was your biggest list before PED use? Red, I don't actually remember. I've said them before in videos a long time ago, but I don't remember the exact numbers at this point. I'm getting older, and I don't really think about things like that anymore. So if I try to spit out a number now, I don't know if it'll be accurate or not. You see what I mean? Because you're asking a 46-year-old man to go back and remember exact numbers of something that's like that from over 20 years ago. It's just unrealistic. It's just not realistic. Like, if I give you a number, I might actually be wrong, and I don't want to tell a lie if I can avoid it. Will you ever bring back the firearms channel? Probably not. I know I asked you about this the other day, but I really like the Q&A videos you used to do. Still filming myself watching those. So finding myself. Oh, that's cool. I mean, they're still there. Oh, what a weirdo. He's number one coach. I don't even think he coaches. Let me just get rid of this nonsense. All right, let's try to get the nonsense cleared out, and let's have real conversations here. Is a little body English required for maximum gains on barbell rows? I don't know if it's required. It can be beneficial. It can be beneficial. And I think that's the thing to think about. A lot of times people will ask, is something necessary, something required? Oftentimes, no. Something can be a useful tool without being necessary. Does that make sense? Do you think DOMs are a good indicator of hypertrophy, assuming you're accustomed to the lift causing it? No, I don't. Why don't you do DEXA scans anymore? Because I don't want to spend money on them and travel and take the time out to do them. It's shoot for the stars and you'll hit the moon, not the opposite, right? Lars, body English means a little bit of loose form, so that just a little bit of controlled cheating, right, on a movement. Darko, could we not discuss stuff like that in live streams? Make sure you're not a troll account. I think you're the real Darko. Yeah, could we please not? I'm going to remove this comment without banning you. That does not need to be in the feed. Miko, it's to me, it's very obvious. There's certain things and phrases they use all the time, and it's easy to pick up on. literally the stuff I get spam, the hate messages I get in my inboxes kind of tells me everything that they're about. And it's pretty easy to pick up on this stuff. Will you ever squat over 500 pounds in training again? Yes. Malik, I'm not going to go into a lot of details, and I'm not giving my exact ratios and breakdown there. Sides are very, very minimal for me. Is there any reasonably priced power barbells you would recommend? No. I'm going to say that's one area you shouldn't skimp on. Okay. Your primary barbell when you're building a home gym is not something that you should skimp on. My advice. That's the one area you don't cut corners. Have you ever experienced psychological side effects from gear, like increased confidence? Oh, if that's the case, yeah, plenty of different ones over the years. You're going to have some change in psychology when you put any hormone into your body. That's just a simple reality, whether positive or negative. Miko, it's very easy. It is extremely easy to not get banned. Don't make references to things you saw in troll videos. Don't make too many references to my personal life. Don't insist that someone else is better than me or a better coach or whatever than I am in my comments. I mean, it's not hard to ask questions about training and diet without doing that. Right? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Don't ask me which race of women I like to have sex with. I mean, it's it's very easy to not get banned. Uncle Tortuga, I'm not going to go into who I'm voting for, but it would not be Trump. So I assume the best indicator for hypertrophy for you is PRs on rep work. I think that is the best indicator. Oh, Alex does coach. All right, cool. So he charges the same thing I do. Do you think there are people who respond better to 8 to 10 sets per week than 15 sets? Yes, I do. But keep in mind that may not be consistent, right? That may not be consistent, even in the same person plotted over time. Van, I'm not going to be able to read through and assess your program in here and tell you what's up there. You know? I keep trying to type messages, but they can't get through. How big is your damn word filter? It's pretty big. It's how I get rid of most of the nonsense. Solves a whole lot of problems. Would you like me to answer the question? It's around 40, approximately. And I update it. I just see those 2 troll comments above. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me see. What type of people respond better to 8 to 10 sets? I have a feeling those are people who are having trouble gaining muscle. I don't know that it's something that specific. Meaning, all right, that's a good indicator, Darko. If someone is doing 15 to 20 sets, they're training hard, their sleep and their diet is good, and they're not making any gains, that is probably a very good indicator that they are doing too much volume and they need to cut down to that. Yeah. So I mostly stick to 8 to 10 sets for hypertrophy. Yeah. All right. How should one approach cardio? It feels pointless to strive for amazing fitness since the adaptations are less permanent and the health appearance benefits less robust compared to lifting. Yeah, but they're still there. When you approach cardio, just keep in mind that cardio gains and benefits from cardio fade very, very fast. And it's something that you do have to keep up over time, if you care about it. I mean, but it comes down to, what you're willing to do and what you're willing to invest your time in. I mean, if you only care about body composition, you don't have to do cardio. You probably should do it for some health purposes, though. Have you reached 1,000 clients yet? Emperor Biden, I feel like you were trolled at this point. A dozen clients. Let me see if you're on a new account or you're the same Emperor Biden. Okay. Parth, what is an appropriate leg width on barbell rows? About shoulder width. What is a good indicator of doing too low a volume versus too much volume? Zero progress. If you're doing low volume, those sets should be intense, and they should be improving over time. Meaning, because you're not fatigued as you go into your sets on really low volume, so you should be seeing some pretty solid improvement. And if you're not over time, then yeah, you probably need a little more volume. What's a good ratio of straight weight to accommodating resistance on ME days? 3 weeks, 3 weeks straight, 1 week accommodating. No, I don't think it matters at all, good guy. That's not how we set up max effort work for people who are running a high variation. I don't think that you need to even think about those ratios at all. You can almost use a random number generator to pick your max effort lifts if you have enough equipment and accommodating resistance. Do you recommend a heart rate to get down before the next set? I've heard 100 beats per minute or less. Maybe, right? Your heart rate shouldn't be that high. I mean, I get if you just did a really heavy set of squats, but I mean, we're generally taking long breaks anyways. So you shouldn't even need to be worrying about things of that nature. This seems rather strange, unless you're taking crazy short breaks and doing 10 reps set squats or something. What do you think about heel elevated squats rep works as a way to put more emphasis on your quads? I think it's a great way to inflame your knee tendons over time. Why most people can't squat ass to grass, is it because of mobility issues? I think for many people it's their actual bump structure. It's their hip structure. How often would you rotate non-ME exercises on RE days? Maybe 3-week waves. There's a lot of schools of thought, good guy, and I don't want to give you set rules because I do it a lot of different ways for different lifters. I think it depends on the specific exercise and the overuse risk. To be perfectly honest, I think that's largely what it should be based upon. It's also based on personality type of the lifter as to how often they need it for psychological purposes. How much cardio do we need for purely health benefits? We don't care about anything else beyond that. I'd say an hour a week, 30 minutes to an hour, probably optimal. And that's not counting doing a little bit of extra walking. Again, if you're just chasing health benefits, that should be enough. I'm talking about on top of lifting. That's assuming you're lifting, right? Because lifting is the brunt of your exercise at that point, but adding some cardio just for health, 30 minutes to an hour a week total. Anything beyond that's probably doing very, very little for your health. At that point, you're training cardio to get better at cardio. I think you like Bulgarian split squats. What do you think about doing those with a deficit block to get a deeper stretch? I think that can be helpful in some cases. All right. Jason, I was recommended by Clint Darden to add a plate on my top of my 12-inch box squat. From your experience, does this change the way the lift feels? It will. That's something Clint and I had talked about. We've had back and forth on because I love Clint to death. I think Clint is a great guy, and I think he's a great coach. And I like him as a person on top of that. He's just an all-around genuine and good human being. We do have slightly different views on box heights on the box. I like a box a little deeper than Clint does for lifters. And it's just a difference in philosophy on the box squat. But notice the thing is, the thing is with Clint, anytime I say something disagreeing with Clint, I'm always going to preface it with that statement because I legitimately like Clint as a person. And that's such a minor disagreement because people take that a weird way when you disagree with someone. They feel like you're insulting them. And it really shouldn't be that way. At what age should we consider stop testing maximum 55 and joints are beat down? If you're experiencing pain, there's some changes you need to make, but I don't think age itself is a factor on a bodybuilding website. Clint's still on YouTube, Brandon. All right. 42 minutes in. I think I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals, and I will talk to you guys next time.